This is what my anxiety feels like. And I have to say my anxiety because I don't understand anybody else's. I have friends who suffer from the same thing, but theirs is different from each other's and different from me. That's one very important thing I've come to understand about this particular disease. It's that it's unique. My first experience with anxiety. When I was little, I would do stupid things like doodle on the underside of my desk or pick my nose, and I would feel really guilty about it. That's what I called it. Really, it was just the way my anxiety was manifesting. It's kind of hard to describe, but it was sort of a feeling like I had a rock in my stomach and a lump in my throat. I would feel really nauseous, and all my muscles would get super tense. I wouldn't feel okay again until I told somebody about whatever I did that was making me feel anxiety, which I called guilt. So I would tell my mom, and she would tell me it was okay. I was just overreacting. But at the time, it would seem like a really big deal to me. That's what's important to remember about my anxiety. It is completely personal to me. What waiting feels like. So, I do theater. And in theater, unfortunately, there's a lot of waiting around, especially for cast lists, which can be really difficult when you want a certain part. For instance, when I was in the 10th grade, I thought it was possible I was going to get the lead in the musical, and I felt really nauseous and tense, like I had before when I was little and felt guilty, the whole day waiting for the cast list. I would sit there and rock back and forth a lot because it helped me to keep moving. It also helped me to talk to people. But something that's really hard about anxiety is sometimes you can't always find somebody to talk to. What an anxiety attack feels like. This is really difficult to explain because it's all happening inside my head. So, how can I take you inside my brain? It starts with something really small, and they happen at really random times, so I'm just going to explain my most recent one that occurred, which happened roughly 2 years ago. I have somebody now who helps me prevent these anxiety attacks from starting, or helps me stop them once they've started. So, my actual attacks are getting fewer. For instance, my boyfriend and I are walking to Family Video to return a movie that we rented a couple days before because we have to get it there by midnight or we're both going to have to deal with late fees, which neither of us have the time or money for. So, we're walking along innocently enough when all of a sudden I start getting a really strange feeling, like something's following me. My back starts to tense up, and I'm trying to focus on what Cameron's saying because he's just talking away, but I can't help but notice like it feels like this thing's getting closer, right behind me at all times. But he's just talking, so I hold his hand tighter and try not to focus on it so much. However, it's getting more difficult to do that because it's starting to get really, really hard to breathe. It feels like my lungs are constricting, like barbed wires wrapping and snaking around them, crushing them against each other. It makes it almost impossible to get any air out. So, we walk along until we wind up in a spot right between the church on campus and Old Main, which is the main building. It's dark there. There's lots of little trees and even more shadows. I start freaking out. I'm almost completely frozen to this spot because now this thing, this whatever it is, feels like it's right behind me. It feels like I can't move. I couldn't lift my feet if I tried. I'm completely stuck here to this spot. And I'm freaking out even more because whatever this is right behind me. And at the same time, it's all around me. I can't go forward because I can't just walk ahead of me because the thing is following me. But I can't turn around because I am positive it is right there. I'm really freaking out now, and all I can say over and over and over again is I don't like my back. I don't like my back. I'm trying to explain to him this feeling, but it's all I can get out. It's a trigger with these attacks, and I only feel safe if I'm sitting with my back against a wall in some kind of corner where I can see the whole room. But I'm not in a corner, and there's no way I can be safe right now because it doesn't matter where I turn, something can always be behind me. Every muscle in my back tenses up. Now I can see he's really concerned. We need to get you out of here, he tells me, but I don't know what to say back. He starts to walk away, and then I scream. What is he doing? Leaving me? Leaving me here? With this thing right behind me and all around me? It's right there. Can't you see it? You have to see it, but he can't. He doesn't understand. He can't see what I'm seeing. He can't feel what I'm feeling. The thing starts to move in towards me, on all sides, wrapping around me. It's everywhere and nowhere. I can't see it, but I know it's there, right behind me, as soon as I turn. And I'm freaking out because he's walking away. And that's when he comes rushing back. Immediately the thing, the feeling, the whatever it is, gets a little less intense, because somehow, someway, he scares it all away for me. I should explain that when I get like this, I don't literally see things, I just feel them there, and the feeling is so intense and so overwhelming that I'm almost positive they're real. He asks me what I want to do, but I can only think of one phrase to say over and over and over again. It consumes me, my entire being. I never know how to answer questions when I get like this. I can only ever say, I don't know. Now I'm really freaking out. My eyes start shifting faster and faster, like a rabbit's eyes, because there's so much to take in and so much to see, and I can never truly be safe because there could always be something right there, right behind me, breathing down my neck, right at my back, ready to attack. So my eyes keep shifting faster and faster. There's so much to take in, so much to see. I don't know what to do. I'm really freaking out. We can't just go back to the dorm because the thing's following me. But we can't just return the video because I can't handle walking any further. But we can't afford the late fees at all. I don't know what to do. I can't breathe. Nothing is making sense to me anymore. It's all crushing me, like a landslide, falling against me over and over and over again. Finally, I can hear him on the phone with my mom. No, there's no danger, he tries to explain to her. It's not real. My mom says it's real to her. My mom tells me she'll come get me, and I freak out. No, I scream. I don't want something bad to happen to you because I couldn't handle this. That's how my mind gets when I'm like this. Anybody trying to help me has immediately endangered themselves in my mind. She hangs up the phone. Cam walks me back to the dorm, and by the time she gets there, I'm curled up in his arms crying. I stay that way the rest of the night, and I don't feel better until she texts me to tell me she's home safe. What an anxiety attack feels like is hard to explain. It's all-consuming. It's overwhelming. I can't tell you, because I don't really know. I don't know where I go when I get like that. And that's the hardest part because people just want to help you. But you never really know what to say, because what you can say and what's on your mind are two totally different things. Why it sucks. No one really understands. People can be there and try to help you as much as they want to. And that's the good thing, I guess, is that people are there, so you're never completely alone in this. My message to anyone with anxiety is that some days it's really going to suck. It's totally going to run your life. But at the end of the day, there's only one thing you can do. Love yourself.